Over 3 years ago, we ran a fundraiser in order to raise funds for families going through rough times from the pandemic. With a humble group of 9 content creators, we were able to make some real change. But what if we actually had 26 content creators instead? That would be pretty awesome. Well, I'm here to tell you, we do. 26 Nintendo content creators agreed to join me in today's fundraiser. Yes, all proceeds from this video will go straight to the St. Jude Children's Foundation. You can click the donate button and donate if you like, but you just being here is more than enough. We all definitely appreciate it. So what is going on in this video, you might ask? Well, 26 content creators, 27 in total counting me, are all giving you our ultimate Nintendo Switch 2 game wish. With the Switch 2 hopefully and most likely coming next year, this is the perfect time before we end this year and move on to the next one to talk about our biggest Switch 2 game wishes. So sit back, grab your snacks, and get ready for the ultimate Switch 2 game wish collaboration.
Hey guys, Arrow here, and my biggest wish for the Nintendo Switch 2 is for a next-generation Xenoblade experience. The developers behind Xenoblade, Monolith Soft, help out Nintendo with a lot of their biggest games like Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but they're known for pushing any system that they develop on to the absolute limits with their own Xenoblade series. Even with their latest release, Xenoblade 3 on the Switch right now, Monolith Soft has created a giant world to roam around and explore, while also having 7 party members that can fight in every single battle and still have a consistent frame rate and not have the Switch explode. Now imagine what they could do on a next generation Switch with 4K upscaling and rumored performance to be as powerful as a system that can run Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now that's the type of Xenoblade experience I really want to play.
The game that I wish for Switch 2, Mario Kart 10. I wonder if Nintendo will do it or not. Anyway, what I'd love for this game to include is a bunch of Mario characters, of course, but also Nintendo characters. I want to see Nintendo tracks. Maybe we get 16 brand new tracks as well as 16 tracks that are based on other Nintendo IPs. So like a Zelda track, Splatoon track, Metroid track, and so on. And it'd be really cool if we eventually got every single retro track from all the previous Mario Kart games remade over time. So I guess a few different season passes where every 2 to 4 weeks, Nintendo releases 4 retro tracks and eventually just makes all of them to make it the ultimate Mario Kart game. And how cool would it be if they brought back mission mode too, and they had weekly challenges that would show up every week.
Howdy folks, I present to you the game that never lived up to its potential. Nintendo Switch Sports! I don't hate the game, but I have Wii Sports Resort here. Let's compare and contrast. Switch Sports had 6 sports at launch, and it took 2 years to add 2 more. Wii Sports Resort has 12 and always had 12. Flying planes, throwing frisbees, jet skiing, you can see where this is going. I want a Switch Sports 2 Ultimate, but if I can, I also want more. Something everyone wants to do is walk around the main area of these games, so Woohoo Island or Spoko Square. So give us that, but also add some online component, like seeing online players as ghosts, like in Mario Wonder. And if good old M Swizzle gets that on Switch 2, I'll be forever happy.
Wow, that last pitch was actually really good, I'm not gonna lie. But this one is better. Now imagine this. You press start on a brand new Zelda game on Switch 2 and the credits starts to roll. Yep, you've lost the game before you even began. Ganon has already won and the timeline is toast. But wait, there's one last hope. Link and Zelda must dash to the Temple of Time, which is apparently the only thing standing, and hop through timelines like they're changing channels. From A Link to the Past, to Ocarina of Time, to Breath of the Wild, to Skyward Sword, and even try to find a brand new Master Sword, which apparently shrunk. They're on their first ever relic heist to save the world. It's like time traveling through your favorite Zelda games, but instead of saving the day, you're just trying to return those relics you borrowed before anybody notices. Get ready for the most chaotic, timeline hopping adventure in Hyrule history. The Legend of Zelda Timelines.
I enjoyed Pikmin 1 and 2. I liked Pikmin 3, and I loved Pikmin 4. So obviously, I want this series to be on the Nintendo Switch 2. But you know what? They gotta push the series even further. I'm not gonna settle for another single player experience. I want this new Pikmin game to be an MMO. I want to explore a lot of planets with multiple other adventurers from all over the world. I want us to gather materials together to set up camps and build cities. And I want to fight some crazy looking bulborbs and other weird enemies. And I mean, hey, Nintendo had their little secret project of theirs earlier this year with the test program, so now we know that they might be looking to do something ambitious like this. You're just gonna do it with Pikmin, Nintendo, that's all I'm asking. It's pretty simple. Also Mario Maker 3.
Hey everyone, Paulygon Network here, and there are two video games that I would like to see on the Nintendo Switch successor. The first being a brand new, awesome entry in the Star Fox franchise, because I love this series, and I think it's long overdue for it to become one of Nintendo's big new pillars. But the way to do it is mixing classic Star Fox like Star Fox 64 and taking a page out of the Ratchet and Clank book and merging the two into this fantastical new game with online multiplayer, R-Wing battles on land, blasters, landmaster tanks, upgrading your shields and your blasters, other things along the way, and of course, amazing aerial combat. And of course, I would like to see more Legend of Zelda, but beyond just another Legend of Zelda game, I want to see a 3D Legend of Zelda fighting game, kind of like Soul Calibur. So those are my two contributions to this video.
My wish for Switch 2, or Swish if you will, is to finally have another Donkey Kong in 3D. That's right, a brand new 3D Donkey Kong game, but this time not in the style of Donkey Kong 64, but more in the style of Super Mario 3D World or Kirby's Forgotten Land, the more constrained linear type of 3D, which I think lends itself better to DK's overall style of gameplay, because he has already mastered the 2D art form, in which he's already made what is arguably the greatest 2D platform of all time, being Tropical Freeze, so why even try to top it? Instead, I wanted to chart a new path in 3D, and I think that might be the way to do it, as I would love to see a new take on Donkey Kong in a new dimension. Now, even though I don't want them to go full open world with this, I think there's still room to explore that with a hub, or maybe hubs, where they could give us a giant 3D hub that would serve as a place to explore that slowly expands over the course of the game, whereas the levels themselves are focused more on the platforming action, and I think that can make for an amazing combination. But whatever the case may be, it is DK's time to shine on Switch 2. It has been way too long since he's had a new game, and now that he has a brand new theme park land and a starring role in the movie, I think he's owed another one. And hopefully it's in 3D, but hey, I'll be happy whatever form it takes.
You guys know Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, best game of all time, best 2D platformer ever created. Well, a lot of people want a brand new 3D Donkey Kong, and honestly, I don't want that. I need us to go back to 2D Donkey Kong, but hear me out. You know the team behind Celeste and those really crazy indie platformers? That's what I want. I want a pixelized, retro-style, super hard Donkey Kong platformer, and I think that's how we go in the future. We have the tried and true platformers from Kirby and Mario, and we need something that's really different and spices everything up. So imagine, if you will, an indie-style Donkey Kong game. I really think it could do some crazy stuff, and plus, having a retro pixelized 2D platformer on a Nintendo console made by Nintendo in 2025 or whenever the hell we get this would be phenomenal.
What's going on, Nintendo Land community? It's me, Sully Pones. And for my wish for the Nintendo Switch 2, the Nintendo Switch Pro, whatever Nintendo decide to name this successor to the Nintendo Switch, I have many wishes. But I'll tell you guys, it's not a 3D Mario game, it's not a new Mario Kart, it's not a Smash Brothers game. So then what is it? What could it possibly be that I wish for on this new Nintendo Switch? I would love to see a 3DS Virtual Console on the Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure how it would work out, honestly, with two screens and then obviously only having one on the Nintendo Switch, but I feel like if you put it into portrait mode orientation, you can kind of make it work. You know, you can have like the top screen there somehow and the bottom screen beneath it. The 3DS is just one of those classics that you had to be there to get it. If you didn't experience it during its prime when it was still out and games were coming out for it, then you truly missed out. So I would love to see a 3DS Virtual Console come to Nintendo Switch. Or Mario & Luigi, you know, another Mario & Luigi title, that would be dope.
Hey everyone out there, happy holidays. This is Rob from the channel Rule of Two Review. Today I'm going to discuss my one Nintendo Switch 2 game wish, which of course is Metroid. Lucky for us Metroid fans, Samus is already in the spotlight because we already know that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is coming to us sometime soon. So the Metroid game that I'm really hoping for would be Metroid 6. Metroid 6, of course, would be a sequel to Metroid Dread, which is, of course, part of the main numbered series. We've heard rumors and discussions that Mercury Steam might be working on another 2D outing for the series. There's a lot of reason to believe it might be a remake of something like Super Metroid or Metroid Fusion, but I choose to believe and hope that we might actually be getting Metroid 6, which again would be a true sequel in the main numbered Metroid franchise. Of course, we all have a laundry list of games and franchises, or maybe even new IPs that we would like to see on Nintendo's next generation console, but if I could pick any one thing in my favorite franchise that is Metroid, it's not Metroid Prime 4. I want to see Metroid 6, and I sure hope it comes sometime soon.
Hey everybody, it's Kit from Kit and Krista here, and what I really want on the Switch 2 is a reboot of Star Fox. I think we all love Star Fox. It's a series that has so much potential, but it just hasn't been living up to that potential in the last couple entries. So let me tell you how I think Nintendo could do this. Let's start with the bones of Star Fox Assault from the GameCube, where you're having battles in the air, you're going on the ground, you're in a vehicle, you're on foot, you have that flexibility to really be part of this intergalactic adventure, but let's make it even bigger. Let's add kind of a streamlined version of No Man's Sky, where you have the freedom to fly from the ground, out of the atmosphere, into space, and go directly to another planet. Actually fly to another planet, circle there, have a battle, go through the atmosphere, land on the ground, explore that planet. There's so many planets in the galaxy that you can check out. This is so cool. This is so next gen. This is what I want out of a new Star Fox game on the Switch 2, and I really hope Nintendo can deliver it to us.
Hi, it's Krista. I'm so excited to be part of this collab, and my hope and dream for a series coming to Switch 2 would have to be a new Fire Emblem game. I'm such a huge fan of Fire Emblem series. I want like a really good, meaty Fire Emblem game that has like all the best parts of Fire Emblem. Like, I want obviously the strategic battles, I want the amazing storyline, I want the cool setting, I want to do all the relationship things, I want the husbandos, I want the waifus, I just want it all. I was very dissatisfied with Fire Emblem Engage, and I just want like a really good, really like sink your teeth into it Fire Emblem game for Switch 2.
Hey guys, it's me, Meteor. If you have seen any of my content, you probably know what game I wish to see: a new 3D Metroidvania, a Kirby Metroidvania. We've already seen ability upgrades in Forgotten Land. The potential to have specific upgrades lead to new areas is already there. In fact, this stage from Original Wasteland even gives us an idea how a more open Kirby game might feel like. They could even hide lore in some of the collectibles. That would be a nice change of pace from pause screens and gacha mechanics. Sure, making a 3D Metroid Kirby sounds ambitious, but I'm sure Hal could pull it off, and would combine my two favorite series together in one package. Though, I'll be honest, I'd be happy to see any Kirby game in 4K. Well, almost any Kirby game. Anyway, see you guys next time.
Alright, if you're familiar with my content at all, you already know what I'm gonna say. Super Smash Brothers! Now, whether or not it is a Ultimate Deluxe, or it ends up being something like a reboot in which we actually get new movesets for all of the main characters, I would love that, right? I would love to see move refreshes for people like Mario, Link, and Samus to better reflect their recent games. I'd also really love to see more of a focus put on the first-party characters. I love the guest characters, don't get me wrong, but I would like to kind of go back to basics for the next one. However, if we're moving away from Smash Brothers, which I feel like is an inevitability, my other big dream game, and this also isn't something that's too shocking, but it's something that I don't necessarily think we're going to see in the first year, is Pikmin 5. I feel like the Pikmin franchise has really bloomed into its own, no pun intended, over the course of the last couple years, and I feel like Pikmin 5 would be the perfect graphical showcase for the Nintendo Switch 2. So those are my choices: a new Super Smash Bros. And Pikmin 5.
As one of the best competitive Splatoon 3 players, there is way too much potential that is just left out. I had to squeeze it all into 4 additions that we need in Splatoon 4. Salmon Run is literally perfect for an endless mode. Having to end on Wave 3 is not good enough. Why can't I just get to wave 100, Nintendo? Side order could also have endless, but that's just me being greedy. Splatoon 3's challenges need to be added into private battles for Splatoon 4. The extreme rarity of finding the challenge that you want already sucks, but imagine all the fun side game modes like hide and seek in the fog that we can play. Next, we need to add more ranked modes. All of the Splatoon 3 ranked modes are the same as Splatoon 2's. I'd like to see at least one more ranked mode added for Splatoon 4. The final aspect of Splatoon 4 that's really needed is third kits for every weapon. Kits are an integral part of Splatoon that makes or breaks the experience for new and veteran players alike. It isn't fair that multiple weapons and classes get mid to below average kits. Players will get to enjoy the peaks of Splatoon 4 with great kits, and having 3 kits for every weapon gives more diversity and chances for that peak.
Hey guys, I'm Thomas from the Switch Stop channel, and with the massive success of Animal Crossing New Horizons now firmly behind us, it's no surprise that the Switch 2 will be getting an Animal Crossing game to call its own. While there's a ton of different directions a new Animal Crossing installment could pull from, I want to see Animal Crossing better together. An Animal Crossing game that really leans into multiplayer to help sell Nintendo Switch Online on the Switch 2. Whether this is just by including a bunch of different minigames you can do at Friends Islands, such as this cute little net battle mockup would be so fun. Or what if Nintendo leaned into more of an MMO style game, which hey, I mean it's not like they've been testing that before, and everyone's Animal Crossing village was just on their own plot of land on a giant overworld map, so you could just seamlessly walk from your village to your friend's village. That could be so much fun, and I'm really excited to see how the next Animal Crossing game takes advantage of the new console. Also, small side note, if you're playing Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete, feel free to add me. My QR code's on the screen right now.
So if you know anything about me, you know it's pretty obvious what my Nintendo Switch 2 game wish is. It's a new 3D Zelda game. But here's the thing, not only is somebody else doing that as a game wish, I don't know that that's actually a wish, because I already know that's going to happen. It's already confirmed to be in development. So really what I actually want to see is a brand new IP. Nintendo likes to make new IPs every generation, and they make new party games, new workout games, shooters like Splatoon, or, RPGs. They've done multiple different RPGs before. For some reason, they only have one action adventure title in The Legend of Zelda. I want them to have another one. I want them to create a whole new world, all new characters, maybe one that even emphasizes story a bit more, and give us another massive action adventure IP to go alongside things like The Legend of Zelda. So Nintendo, please give it to me, baby.
Man, if I could have any Nintendo Switch 2 game, I think I would go with not Mega Man Legends 1, not Mega Man Legends 2, but Mega Man Legends 3. You see, like way back in 2013, I bought a brand new 3DS because we were promised to get to play a demo of Mega Man Legends 3. That never happened. Mega Man Legends 2 released in the year 2000, so I've been waiting almost 25 years to see how this series story finishes out. So if I could have any Switch 2 game, I think I'd go with Mega Man Legends 3.
Hello, I'm Odyssey Central. Now normally I would say that I really want Mario Odyssey 2 since Odyssey is my favorite game. But come on, that's predictable. Let's mix it up a little. You know what game I have more playtime in than Mario Odyssey? Smash Ultimate. So my Switch 2 game wish is gonna be a brand new Super Smash Bros. Game. And since this is my wish, I'm gonna be as unrealistic as possible. You can't stop me. I want every fighter from Ultimate to return, which they could do by heavily building off of Ultimate like Ultimate did with Smash 4. But I'd also like to see a few movesets in particular changed. Not naming any names. Of course, there would also be a ton of new characters, but my most wanted list sounds like the ramblings of an insane person, so we'll skip over that. Primarily though, I would love to see story mode with actual cutscenes and character interactions. Dialogue and voice acting would be great too, though I'm sure that'd be a bit difficult for some characters. Oh, and on top of all that, I would love to get actual music from Minecraft in the game. Even if they can't get C418, Lane of Rain has made plenty of bangers. I could go on forever about things I want in the next game, but I'll stop there and just say I want an even bigger and better Smash Bros.
Hello, I'm Chara, and the game I most want to see for the Nintendo Switch 2 is a sequel to Super Mario Sunshine. Now, my hopes for this are pretty much dead in the water, but I have recently played a fan mod of Sunshine called Super Mario Sunshine Eclipse. It is a super creative mod that basically doubles the game's content, adds different movement options to Mario and the nozzles, as well as some really unique areas like expanding Delfino Plaza or even having a cruise trip to be able to visit other nearby areas as a form of post-game. I think it shows that there is still a ton of room for creativity in making a sequel for this game that can stand out in the modern era. And personally, while I think it'll never actually happen, I would love to see Nintendo try their hand at this once again. Mario Sunshine is one of my favorite games that I think would truly shine more in an era where it gets the time it needs.
Hello everyone, this is Andre's Restart, and the game series I would like to see on Nintendo Switch 2 is the grand return of Star Fox. Imagine the Lilat system, but in an open world space format, somewhat like Starlink, but more condensed with more to do and a lot more polish, and of course, that Star Fox flair. There will be an ongoing battle throughout space and on these planets between the forces of good and evil that you can have an influence on, but there will also be a variety of moments where you can enter a sequence that's essentially an on-rails moment just like prior Star Fox games. And then of course there could be an online component as well. Imagine these massive, large-scale dogfights between different players online. I'm even excited about this possible patent that might be used for Nintendo Switch 2, where they're using a smart fluid and magnetism to create resistive feedback on the control sticks. Imagine flying your R-Wing around and you feel a resistance as you pull back to aim upwards. There is just so much potential on what could be done.
I'm Aristotle, and this is what we need on the next Nintendo console.
Here we go!
We're talking Mario Maker 3D. Instead of two-dimensional levels, now you can build and play in an open world using mechanics and features from all the best 3D Mario games. Builders can remake the classics or create entirely new games for everyone to enjoy. And because anyone can make new content, this game would never run out of things to do. From a wide selection of enemies, power-ups, events, themes, and bosses to choose from, the sky's the limit. As long as Nintendo figures out how to make a better search feature, you can find creative and unique experiences for years. And if they figure out a smoother online experience, playing with friends would be incredible. Imagine racing against friends to gobble up that sweet, sweet gold, or playing hide and seek in a completely custom world. Now that is a game we need.
Hey, it's Cyroth, and I got an idea. With the Switch's Mario Sports Collection, we got the classics that we see all the time. Golf, tennis, they even brought back Strikers, which we can all agree was a step in the right direction. One big sport that's still been left on the bench, though, is baseball. We haven't seen a mainline entry in 16 years. I personally enjoy the Mario sports games for the expansive rosters, getting to play as a bunch of different random enemies, guys you wouldn't expect. It's about time we update this. Forget Wonder, Odyssey, even 3D Worlds editions, Mario Sluggers came out so close to Super Mario Galaxy that we don't even have any content from there in it. Rosalina isn't in this game. If this game takes a little bit from what the modern sports games have been doing, I think it's over. This might be the best one of all time. We could all hate on EA or 2K, but a Mario baseball with seasons, leagues, drafting, ranked PvP? Come on now.
Howdy folks, the game I'm picking for the Nintendo Switch 2 is Mario Kart 10. Surprise! I want this to be the biggest Mario Kart ever, packed with the most characters, high quality new tracks, and of course plenty of retro tracks. The standout feature? Well, it's actually to take inspiration from Mario Kart Tour. Hold on, hear me out here. I want Nintendo to drop new content every 2 to 3 weeks. I'm speaking fresh characters, outfits, remixed tracks, karts, kart parts, just a whole bunch of stuff to keep the game feeling exciting all year round. And let's not forget the crossover content as well. I want to see them bring in some characters and tracks from the other Nintendo IPs. I really like seeing that in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and a little bit in Mario Kart Tour as well with Yoshi's Island. To top it all off, I want to see a really strong unlock system, just so that players actually have to grind for rewards. And if they do all of this, I believe we'll have a Mario Kart that will last the entirety of the next Switch generation.
The game that I would love to see on the Nintendo Switch 2 would be, of course, Splatoon 4. It's a bit obvious coming from me, and it probably will happen, but of course, I've been playing Splatoon for about almost a decade now, so of course I'm gonna want it. But just to add on, Splatoon 4 being on the Switch 2, I think it's a perfect happy medium, generally because I feel like the Splatoon franchise has been completely stepped on, not necessarily in Japan, because there it's like a Valorant or an Apex. It's legitimately that popular out there. And I would love it if places like Europe and North America would also actually show that same amount of appreciation to this game, because generally I feel like they really are missing out on an amazing shooter. And I feel like if the Switch 2 is more powerful like it's said to be, then people probably would appreciate Splatoon more. Let's just say that maybe, fingers crossed, they bump the system up to 120 frames. That is like a big stretch, but If it's possible, oh my lord, 120 frames, 120 Hz gaming on Splatoon would absolutely be insane.
Super Mario Galaxy is an absolute banger of a game. Super Mario Galaxy 2, also a banger. So, the game that I would want the most on the Nintendo Switch 2 is Super Mario Galaxy 3. I mean, think about it. With the extra power of the new hardware, they could take this franchise to new heights. The worlds could be way bigger, the visuals would just be absolutely stunning, and I think this would be the perfect game to be open world. Rather than getting to new galaxies from a hub world like Rosalina's Observatory or Starship Mario, imagine if you could just travel through space yourself to each of these new planets. That would be insane. Furthermore, I would want this game to have true multiplayer. In Galaxy 1 and 2, you technically had 2-player co-op, but player 2 basically just shot star bits and they couldn't actually play as a character. This time round, I think it would be so cool to have both local and online co-op. Your friends could play as like Luigi, Rosalina, Lubba. It would be incredible. So Nintendo, please put this on the Switch 2. Please.
Now that's a lot of Switch 2 game wishes, but I still have yet to give you my Switch 2 game wish. From the second I played Bowser's Fury, I immediately felt something really special about that game. I knew Nintendo was testing something and I couldn't wait to see exactly what it was. And ever since that game has come out, my head has been filled with potential ideas for an open world 3D Mario game. And seeing how well they handled the world with Breath of the Wild, it just made me realize that Mario could definitely work as well. Having a giant, vibrant, colorful world to go explore with multiple different regions, a snow, lava, desert, even jungle area that you could explore at your own leisure with tons of platforming challenges scattered everywhere. Imagine shrines from Breath of the Wild, but this time 3D platforming challenges similar to Super Mario Sunshine's floodless levels or even Odyssey's capless levels that has you focusing on pure platforming. These can be little bite-sized challenges sprinkled all over this amazing world. Having a Mushroom Kingdom the size of the Mario movie's Mushroom Kingdom would be so phenomenal. A humongous Toad Town to explore and to talk to NPCs, accept and complete side quests, fun vehicles to get around the overworld, and also being able to freely explore Princess Peach's castle would be super cool again, since Super Mario 64 was the last real time we were able to do that. However, if I was to cheat and give myself one more Switch 2 game wish, it would definitely be a sequel to the game that gave me the inspiration for this channel in the first place, Nintendo Land 2. If recently making an over 30-minute video on this topic wasn't a big enough hint, I can't stress even more how much I would love to see a Nintendo Land 2, full of new games and franchises that weren't covered in the original, plus upgraded and changed mini games from the IPs and franchises coming from the first game. I think this would be a perfect pack-in game day one for Switch 2, and it's the reason why so many people got into so many other Nintendo franchises, because they were able to play bite-sized pieces of each one. A pack-in Nintendo Land 2 plus the 3D open world Mario at launch would literally be a dream come true. Woo! What a list there. 26 Nintendo content creators were able to come together to make something really special. And it absolutely warms my heart that we were able to put together something so awesome for you guys. I want to give a big thank you to everybody that was involved in this project. You can find all of their channels in a description down below. Thank you so much for those of you that have tuned in today. I cannot thank you enough for just being here, and especially those that have donated. You guys are the real MVPs. 2025 will begin to show us how many of these wishes will actually come true, and I can't wait for it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And thanks to the creators for making this happen. Like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.